that sound? There. This is what the folks used to listen to back then. Your great-grandparents, they used to do all kinds of nights. You think you guys can dance? No, look at dance all the top all the time. Skip out and this out and... No, the real kind of dance was back then. The ladies used to dance in some long gowns or short abbles, mini skirts. So there was fashion that went along with the dance and the mode. The groove, if you will. And this is how we started, based on this groove. Give you an example. One moment, Mr. Manswell. This is music from the 50s, when the swing. So what are you gonna do? Same groove.
I've been sitting on a fence and it doesn't make much sense, cause you keep me in suspense and you know it.
Hear the groove?
You promised to return when
same swing.
Burn. Well, I guess I'll never learn and I'll show it. If you got a heart, and if you can't,
anybody care to dance?
Then don't keep us apart. Make up your mind.
Okay. The swing came in different realms. A solo version of the swing to make it nicer and easier. Yeah. May I have this dance? You catch that groove? And one of the kings of all of these kind of grooves, better known to most people of this kind of music as old Blue Eyes.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see.
I think Dave would dance this one with his wife back in the street.
You would catch her dead on the floor. Even if you would.
In other words,
you see the swing?
Baby,
okay, Mr. Manswell, could you continue with what you were doing for me, please? You hear that? The swing and the blues. Tell me if this sounds familiar, Mr. Manswell, please. Listen to the piano. Birds of ska. They start throwing some drums in it. But a different kind of drum. African. Bloop, 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 bloop. Listen, you still have the piano bed. The horns doing the swing, but the drums. So what these guys decide to do, let's make it different, says they. Could you play again for me the same thing, Mr. Manswell? Drop your left hand and just play the right hand. Now do it. Ba, 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 ba. And all that's missing from that is... Let's hear the groove. This is it. Listen. Same groove. Ska coming slowly into being. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ska. Watermelon man. Who knows the song? Grooving with vocals. This is dancehall of the 60s, primitive. Time you stop doing that sort of thing, you won't chase it down. Now, that is ska that developed from the swing, the rock and roll blues swing. Now, what's happening in Jamaica at this time? A lot of transitional things occurring, both politically and socially. One of the most important transitional piece for Jamaica was the development of not just its own music, but its own music industry. The very first studio that developed in Jamaica at that time was called Studio One by Sir Coxsone Dodd, Clement Dodd. They called it Coxsone because it was a cricketer of the English team by the name of Coxsone who could play, could stroke them balls. And because Clement Dodd was a cricketer also, and a good one, they called him Coxsone Dodd. Now, Mr. Dodd had a rival at that time because there were two main studios, Treasure Isle and Studio One. And the competition between these two guys developed into more than just a music industry with studio, because the next avenue was to have the music that you record in the studio be played outside. So what do you think developed after that? Make a guess, anyone? No, there were radio stations, because that's how they used to get all the music before, only from radio stations. A radio station, and it was called not a radio station then, it was known as rediffusion, meaning that you only had one speaker in one central area that everyone would go to listen to. Like in the center of town, or in a main corner thoroughfare, there would be a horn, a metal horn, pumping out the music. ZQX, from out of England. A lot of the English people came to Jamaica and they started that radio station. Now, what developed were sound systems. Do you know what a sound system is? I hope you do. It's a guy with a whole lot of speaker boxes, a turntable, amplifiers, microphone, and he's playing loud. Just a real quick story about these two rivals, Coxsone Dodd and Duke Reed, the owner of Studio One and Treasure Isle, respectively, the two competitive studios. They both built sound systems, and they both competed, not only as producers, but also as sound system operators. Now, imagine, if you will, a road, downtown Kingston, 1963. This road is no wider than the corridor outside, from the wall to the edge, which is about what? 8 feet, maybe? You know some narrow roads like that? I'm sure you have some in Trinidad or Tobago. Well, can you imagine a sound system with boxes up to 6 feet and more, piled on top of each other, going up to 10 feet, as wide as 8 feet, at the edge of the road, in the yard, on one side, blasting into the road. And the road is filled with people, partiers. But do you know what's on the other side of the road, 10 feet, facing those speakers?
Speakers.
Another column of speakers from this opposing party. Blasting also.
Goodness.
Who can blast louder? And who can play the best music wins. So the rivalry for producing the music also developed. Later on, because you can't always dance fast, you'll get tired, yeah? They decided to slow the ska down a bit. And they went into this level.